Alright, so I've been trying to choose a retaining wall block, and I have flip-flopped more times than a sandals resort. What factors I was considering is height of the wall is not that tall. My son wants to, we're going to have a soccer area out here. My son wants me to kick the ball against it so we don't real rough like a split face block. I considered doing regular cinder blocks and just sort of stuccoing it, but then I got to mix the mortar and pour a real foundation instead of just having a crush and run in the footer. And so I finally decided to stop trying to save money and just break the bank and get some nice block. So I have to jut out around where this crawl space access opening is. So I'm come out a few feet here and then out and do parallel the outside wall along there and along there. So I painted some lines and start digging. They said I cannot use this on more than 3% grade. They flip over real easy, cost a whole lot of money, yada yada yada. So this will be fun, but I got this for one day and see if I can't get it footer knocked out. And then when I get the Bobcat, I can put the crush run in it. But here's the sort of the highest side. I dug down quite a bit because there's a lot of fill in the area and I want to be below the topsoil. We pushed a lot of stuff around, and so I want to be down below the natural grade level prior to us starting this project. Alright, so I have pretty much finished digging the footer, and now I'm going to clean it out with a shovel. I was careful and I marked and did not hit the sewer line. Actually didn't ever see it, thankfully. I believe the power line was way deeper than I went, but I wasn't thinking, and I actually did a boo-boo, and I took out the purge for the sand filter. 2-inch purge line followed the supply lines, goes underneath that along the edge of the pool, and came out here, and I put it out through to sort of expel out into the utility easement. And this is all muddy. I did not see it with a pipe. I was pulling on it like it was a rock. It didn't break, but what it did do is separate, no doubt, from the union, which is up there underneath that corner. So I am not planning on digging that out and trying to pack it back in. I'm just going to reroute that and run a new 2-inch line. I'll figure that out after I get the footer in and my probably first row of block. So I get my work truck to the salesman at work, and I let my wife drive the SUV to Dollywood for a few days. So this is my work truck. 50 feet of pipe, no problem. Once it's 100,000 miles, then it's fair game, right? as I said earlier, I had a really hard time trying to choose what block or rock or stone to use, and so I finally ended up just choosing it based on size and what was available at the local landscape yard. And I actually never even saw the blocks yet, so I saw the same style but different color, and he said he could get these out to me quickly. They were a little lighter than the one that was what was in the sort of show area out front of the landscape yard, and so I said yeah. So I'm going to package it and we'll see what they look like. They are solid blocks and 3 different sizes. Not gray, I wanted more of a brown or cream, but this is the closest we could get. So, should look alright. The skid steer forks, the main mass lift would lift it, but the tilt couldn't hold it, so it kept sliding down on me and I had to stop and pick it up a few times. So I'm trying to get my cornerstone parallel the house and parallel the house.
I will build a great, great wall.
So my thought is to replace this 2-inch line that goes on my exhaust off the filter that I broke when digging the footers, to put it on the inside of the retaining wall before I backfill the gravel. So it'll come down here and I'll have to connect to this pipe right here, and after that it should be good. Hopefully it's not broken out there, but if it leaks out there, it's not as bad as if it leaks underneath my pavers. You know, we just had this ditch dug a month ago. When we filled it in with nice big rocks. Just lovely. Sloppy down here and the pipe's broken. Not surprising me. So I got the sand filter purge pipe tied together, and I went ahead and vacuumed my pool and let it run through that for a while. Didn't see any leaks or anything, and so now I'm ready to start putting gravel around that and packing it down. So we'll have to be ready for the long wall.
Say create everything. Jah the king and me say yes, him a the king. Kings of kings and me say Lord of lords. Conquer the lion of the tribe of Judah. I elect of God and ever living God. Serve to rightful ruler. Brr, yeah. Jah the king and me say yes, him a the king.
So it's a beautiful Sunday morning here in Chattanooga, and I was hoping to make some progress today. I saw where I left off Friday, the long run, and I just started laying rock and backfilling. And that's when I realized that I was supposed to put a stairway there. So I gotta move some gravel, start digging out, and hopefully form it up. Stairway, we'll see how it turns out. I want it to be centered on the pool, so I'll have to measure that up and cut back. We don't want it coming into the soccer field area, we want it going in towards the bank. So I'll have to cut that up and lay some more type 2 base, crush and run, and put some rock on top of it, and hopefully make a decent looking stairway. Here goes nothing. most of the long wall done, and now I need to do it around tying into the house. I did notice as I'm compacting the gravel behind it, it tends to, especially in the areas that it's tight, like through here, it tends to push the walls, the blocks out. So I'm going to try to take a sledgehammer and board and push a few of these back in so it doesn't feel like it's sort of working its way out with each row. I'm not putting gravel in here. We're going to put some topsoil and some sort of a planter in. Obviously got to level this stuff up and put some crushing around, pack it all down. Some of those rocks are too high, they're going to have to come out. So I may do sort of a form through here just on the spot to keep the dirt and gravel away from where my topsoil are going to be. And need to work on this. Next, going up a row here because I need to come over my pipes and wires and stuff. I've got these two drains, and just remembered I have to add one more drain for the slot drain that'll be in here, comes down through there. Coming from the other side, I'm going to put a pipe in for future sprinklers along that planter, and low voltage 12 volt down lighting along that planter as well. Definitely not a good idea to hold the 2x4 while you're hitting it. Got the corner, jabbed me pretty good. So the skid steer is plenty strong enough hydraulic wise to lift up the pallets of retaining wall rock, but back end really doesn't weigh enough. It's almost perfectly balanced when I lift it up. As you can see, the back wheels are off the ground. I got it over here, and now when I try to back up, then it just drags on that rock. So I can't back up. I could go forward, but I don't need to go forward, so I'm just going to have to unload the rocks right about where it sits. Once it gets a little bit lighter, then I can back up, move around, maybe move it up there. Struggling to do the last little bit of retaining wall first row because challenge. So I'm gonna have fall from my pool over to a slot drain and then rising up towards the house. So I feel like I also need to have fall from the house to this corner in my foundation and my retaining wall. So I have this 3-inch pipe that'll connect to the slot drain, and I have the two 4-inch pipes down below it that will be one of them drains through from the yard, one of them drains the gutters, and then I'm just going to throw a 2-inch pipe in there just because after I get the retaining wall done, if I want to feed a wire or hose or anything through there, I'd rather have something to chase it with. Anyway, so I'm just at this point just sort of eyeballing. I can't really use a level since I'm trying to fall about 2 inches right to left, and got my skid steer kind of stuck over here. I need to finish unloading that so I can move it because I can't lift it and back where it is right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a second row here, even though I'd rather put gravel in first and pack it. Do a second row, then I'll do gravel. week. I spent 2 days working on the skid steer and 3 days doing the wall. This is into day 3. I'm running out of daylight, and I could not be happier with how it fit. I didn't have to cut any over there. Of all this wall, I only had to cut, will have to cut this one piece. This is ready for top cap. Got to move a lot of dirt around inside still to get ready for pavers, but not too bad for my first ever retaining wall. I'm gonna leave this open to get the skid steer up and be able to pull in, bring in my gravel for packing and sand and all that. So we'll probably work our way back to this corner, and then however much pavers we have left, we'll use them out to that point and then slope off the rest of the yard. So it's a couple days before Christmas, and I really haven't got a lot done this month. Been busy, and then it rained a bunch, which made it hard to use the skid steer because it's just a muddy mess. And then I came down with Corona, and now my whole family's got it. But beautiful weather today, and I'm working on the last bit of retaining wall. Then I can backfill, and maybe I can spread all these piles around, level out, finish off the yard, put a fence up, you know, maybe actually have a backyard again. So here's my great wall. Still trying to figure out how to make Mexico pay for it. Check out my other videos on making the steps, pavers, planter. Gonna have landscaping eventually. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to follow me, this is what I look like from behind.